The Ring of Fire. Solar eclipse. Israel's astrology on Sunday looks pretty bad. Now, I'm not one who knows how to read these things, but I found some information and some how to read those charts or whether something's already been written out, you all. Something's going on, and we know that things are heating up over there. They're heating up. Let's look at this, you all, because I'm going to put it back to, I've got it on me. And welcome if you're just tuning in. This is like a natal chart. Look at that. I can't even read that stuff. And I can't. This was done by a lady. Let me bring her on here. Let me bring the lady who had done this. I hope you can hear me. I really do. Let me see if I can find the little transcript that this lady had written, because she made it public. Boom, we got it. We got it right here. You are. We're going to come down here and bring Olivia Soul down here. Right here. This is Israel's chart. This is what she said. If you're just tuning in, we'll leave it right there for one moment. I'm going to come over here, see if I'm even being heard over here on my YouTube channel. Just give you a moment to come on in here. If they'll let you come in here, you will. If this interests you about Israel, then you might want to listen. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Okay, we got it. I'm going to set that right there. Since I'm not really... Yeah, I'm going to do my best. So let's read what she has to say about it. Look at this. It's the nation of Israel. This is what it says. Let me... I'm having to look over toward this way. Just let me put this dead, and let me just put it right there in the center. The nation of Israel. You got to put it over there a little bit more. Gina, will you please quit moving it around? Yeah, I want to quit moving it around. The nation of Israel. The date, Friday the 14th, May 1948 is when it, I guess, became a nation. Tel Aviv, Israel. You can see the stuff on there, the time and all that, 4 p.m. and stuff. So this is an event chart. Web style, sun sign Taurus, ascendant Libra. So we can look at this, you all. Do you know how to read it, Gina? Absolutely. I have no idea how to read this, but you all know how to read it. Let me get myself out of the way. Let me put it right there. Let me put myself back over here. This might be important to some people. So we're going to look at it. It's down here. This is what she wrote, Olivia Soul. Israel's astrology for Sunday looks pretty bad. There's a square between Mars and Israel's natal stellium in Leo. Mars approaches an exact square by degree with the moon and makes a square by sign with Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. In the 10th house, Israel's descendant is conjunct with transiting North Node and Chiron. So the eclipse is in opposition to that too. What this means is that the likelihood of violent events is high. I sincerely hope it won't be the case. I would assume that this woman is an expert in doing what she does. I can't read it, but it sounds pretty serious with what's going on if you're just tuning in. Okay, I'm going to bring something else up. I'm going to leave this right here. I'm going to bring something else up that was explained. Let me see if I can come over here, you all. I hope I can get the right one up. Let me come over here. I'm going to keep it on me for a moment to see if I can. There is an article that has been written. So I'm going to bring that over here on here. You all, welcome you all. Today is Friday the 13th. Tomorrow is the eclipse. And Sunday, the likelihood of violent events is really high. It's high. It's really high. I didn't know this, but I don't know what these squares and things mean, but that's okay. We're going to do it. Gina, can you please quit talking? I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring off another image. We're going to read some more information on this, you all. You need some information to try to explain it. So I've got another one right here. Oh, let me see if I can make this. Let me look. This is Marguerite Elsbeth. The Ring of Fire. The new moon, the annular solar eclipse in Libra, Sunday, October the 14th. Okay, that's, all right, let's see when she wrote it. See if we can get it written. Let's read it. So I don't like looking over here to the side because I make myself, let me make myself a little bit smaller. So let me put her on here. Let's put this right here. Let's put this over here. I want to read it. Let me try to shrink this down a little bit, you all, because I want to get that on there and I want to get that on me. We're going to read what Margaret Elspeth had to say about it. Let me find my video. Okay, I'm on here. I can read it. The Ring of Fire. The Sun, Moon, and Mercury in Libra. Chiron in Aries. The North Node in Aries. South Node in Libra. All of the above. Conjunct Malefics. Mars square Pluto. Solar and lunar eclipses were regarded as bad omens in ancient times. Some cultures believed an eclipse would cause the death of the king or queen. Others thought that demons of darkness would destroy the world, or a great evil would follow the occultation of sun and moon. Native peoples still adhere to the old ways, believing that viewing an eclipse will result in ill health and spiritual problems, and some tribes warn against eating, sleeping, or being out in the sun during a solar eclipse because the sun and the moon are engaging in intercourse. Can y'all hear me? Let me make sure I can be heard. Can I be heard?
Can y'all hear me?
Okay, I can. Okay, yeah, I can be heard. Let me read this. I didn't know anything about this. I know you weren't supposed to go out in it. These warnings are relegated to mere superstition by scientists and modern folks, yet they are not unfounded. The ancients in particular had incredible knowledge of the sky and space, noting upheavals on Earth that took place before, during, and after eclipses, and throughout comet crossings and meteor showers as well. Personally speaking, it seems to me that we've all been dumbed down by our reliance on science and technological advancement, both devoid of spiritual virtue. Israel's declaration of war on Palestine, which occurred yesterday, is a prime example, a false flag and psyop leading to or hiding something greater, though it may be. The October 4th emergency broadcast EBS alert is another occurrence within the eclipse pre-shadow timeline. The National Security Agency placed artificial intelligence in charge of national security just prior to the EBS alert, and the Vela Pulsar star is said to have released unprecedented Earth-directed gamma ray radiation on the same day of the alert. We've all felt something coming, yet all the while it's here and unfolding. All this is the intrinsic nature of eclipse season, this one of longer duration than the average pre- and post-shadow period of 10 days before and 10 days after both eclipses. The second, a partial full moon, a lunar eclipse in Taurus on October the 28th, with the apex of energy somewhere in the middle. This particular annular solar eclipse in Libra falls on the cardinal sign axis, albeit with Mars at 1 degree Scorpio, and stands to greatly affect those with a natal emphasis on Aries, Libra, Cancer, and or Capricorn, as ostensibly forming a cardinal grand cross in the natural zodiac, not necessarily by sign or degree, but if one were looking at the sky, which is a very powerful, provocative influence in and of itself. Let's move this one. I got another one I'm going to read what she wrote. See if I can find it. Let me come over here and look for it. The other one that came after that one. Let me see if I can pull it up because I had to piece it. It was a long article. Okay, I've got it. Okay, I've got this one. I'm going to make this one But I'm going to bring this one right here because it does continue. We're going to do it. Y'all with me on this? You all, you over here? At least we got some information. This is Sunday. It means the likelihood of very violent events in Israel. All right, let me try if I can get this. Okay. 2. This eclipse season takes place during the Samhain, a Gaelic word meaning summer's end. Season, a time when the now almost non-existent veil is thinning even further. Suffice it to say, epic dreams, astral encounters, auguries, synchronicities, mental aberrations, and emotional and physical symptoms ranging from uncomfortable to debilitating abound, all of which are increased by the ionized and gamma ray radiation coming from the sun, the incoming neutron star system behind it, and the Vela pulsar, not to mention whatever is deliberately weaponized to incite extreme weather, earthquakes, volcanoes, and us. We got it, you all. We got the natal chart of Israel, and it doesn't look good. Now, this is being explained in this article. My natal sun sign is in Aries. She's speaking of herself, with Uranus in Cancer and Saturn and Neptune in Libra. I've been feeling and experiencing these discordant energies for weeks. In fact, the entire month of September was beyond difficult, especially when the intense solar activity factored into play. World events aside, I suggest we all remain vigilant, discerning, mindful, and kind in the face of tremendous, sweeping global and personal change that is, for all intent and purpose, a collective dark night of all souls, and from which there is no escape because we are all part and parcel of the greater whole. But it may be asked, why does the soul call the divine light, which enlightens the soul and purges it of its ignorances, the dark night? I reply that divine wisdom is, for 2 reasons, not night and darkness only, but pain and torment, and also to the soul. The first is, the divine wisdom is so high that it transcends the capacity of the soul, and therefore is, in that respect, darkness. The second reason is based on the meanness and impurity of the soul, and in that respect, the divine wisdom is painful to it, afflictive and dark also. The St. John of the Cross, the dark night of the soul. So we're going to continue to read you all. I'm going to finish reading this. In my humble perception, we are experiencing a prolonged, conscious or unconscious contemplation of our own misery. The former eventually leads to enhanced supersensory awareness, knowledge of, and connection to interior divinity, while the latter results in bringing lower characteristics to the fore, replete with all manner of untoward, possibly violent tendencies, and a focus on outer world distractions that unsettle and enrage the spirit. Carl Jung once said, "To confront a person with his shadow is to show him his own light." This aptly applies to now. So unless you are ready to bring on all your own past, present, and future karma, there is no better time to be in the world, though not of it. Finally, perhaps you will recall the devastating downloads that occurred during the August the 21st of 2017, the total solar eclipse, actuated by the moon's south node, also known as Rahu, and the unfortunate aftermath of experiences concerning those who, heedless of the warnings of the ancients, chose to observe it. The new moon solar eclipse in Libra, conjunct Mars, square Pluto, also incorporating Chiron and the nodes, packs a huge wallop throughout the elimination organs, which is Libra, and upside the head, Aries. It is a major purge on many levels, and an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So I think there's one more that goes with this. Let me read it. Are you with me so far? Because I'm going to try to get everything that she said. I'm trying to explain what is going on and what, because we all have been experiencing a lot of things, a ton of things. This is the last one. Let me put it right here. Therefore, I urge those who are energy sensitive to tend to your overall health and well-being first and foremost. Stay indoors during the eclipse rather than join the masses in watching the event that takes place, thereby minimizing the risk of additional exposure to whatever else is flying in on the airways these days. Together, we will make it through this seemingly never-ending impasse. Meanwhile, I wish you peace, goodwill, abundant strength, and much love, Marguerite. So this is my friend right here. I just had a deja vu of doing this. I did. This is what she shared. This is the natal chart of Israel right here, right there. You can see it. It was done by Olivia Soul. If you know how to read these things, which I don't, this is what it looks like right here. And she said, Israel's astrology for Sunday looks pretty bad. There's a square between Mars and Israel's natal stellium in Leo. Mars approaching an exact square by degree with the moon and makes a square by the sign with Pluto, Saturn, and Mars. In the 10th house, Israel's descendant is conjunct with the transiting North Node and Chiron, so the eclipse is in opposition to that too. What this means is, this is what it means, you all, this is serious, is that the likelihood of violent events is very high. It's high. I sincerely hope it won't be the case. This is based on Israel's chart right here. Violent events. And we know that what happens in the sky, it really does have something that happens. Okay, it does. It does stuff to us. I'm going to take you over to, I've got something opened up over here, the Ring of Fire, and what time you should be able to see it. Solar eclipse coming to the Americas on October the 14th. It will come to the skies over the Americas on Saturday, October the 14th, 2023. The moon will cross in front of the sun, covering at most 90% of it. The remaining 10%, can y'all hear me? It's 2:18 a.m., Trish Brady, honey. Yeah, the remaining 10% will appear as a blazing ring of fire around the moon's black silhouette. A solar eclipse will soon grace the skies of the Americas. On Saturday, we saw it. The annular Latin for ring shape. Solar eclipse will be visible roughly within a 125-mile wide path from Oregon to Texas and on into Mexico, Central America, and Northern South America. Most North Americans outside the path, except in the western Alaska, will experience a partial solar eclipse. Where and when to see it? We're reading about where you're going to see this solar eclipse. Right here. From the beginning to the end, a solar eclipse lasts up to about 3 hours. And for most of that time, the moon slowly covers the sun, then uncovers it. These are the eclipse's beginning and ending partial phases. The real excitement comes in the middle, but only for a few fleeting minutes. In the U.S., weather prospects for the annual eclipse will look most promising in parts of Utah, New Mexico, and Texas, where the ring of fire lasts about 5 minutes. If you're one of the lucky ones, along the path of annularity in those areas, make sure you clear your diary for appointments and eclipses and observing it. You wouldn't want to miss the event, even if you're not in the path of annularity. Do pause during the day to take a peek at the event, paying attention to your eye safety. This is, they're recommending you go out and watch it, and the article that we read suggests that according to the natives, don't go out in that eclipse, according to the Native Americans, Native Indians and stuff. Don't go out in it. It's bad juju energy. You wouldn't want to miss it. The sight of a lunar disk, even partially covering the sun, reminds us that we live in a solar system that's always in motion. The following given times for the phrases are in the eclipse of these cities within the path. So you can look right here. If you're in any of these cities right here, 8:05 is when it begins in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. And it will last till 10:40 a.m. And the duration of the annularity is 3 minutes long and 48 seconds. Then you got Elko, Nevada, 8-something through 10:50. Then you got Bryce, Utah, 9:09 to 11:58. You got Albuquerque, New Mexico, 9:13 a.m. to 12:09 p.m. Roswell, New Mexico, 9:16 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. Midland, Texas, 10:18 to 1:22 p.m. San Antonio, Texas, 10:24 a.m. to 1:33 p.m. Corpus Christi, Texas, 10:26 a.m. to 1:38 p.m. Oh, we got some more. The following table gives the times of the phases of the partial eclipse outside the path of annularity for the selected cities in the U.S. and Canada. So we have Salem, Oregon at 8:06 through 10:40. Seattle, Washington, 8:08 through 10:40. Los Angeles, California, 8:08 to 10:50. Las Vegas, Nevada, 8:08 to 10:54. Vancouver, British Columbia, 8:09 to 10:38. Salt Lake City, 9:09 a.m. to 11:55 a.m. Calgary, Alberta, 9:14 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. Denver, Colorado, 9:14 a.m. to 12:06 p.m. Austin, Texas, 10:24 a.m. to 1:33 p.m. Kansas City, Missouri, 10:25 a.m. to 1:21 p.m. Winnipeg, Manitoba, 10:29 a.m. to 1 p.m. Chicago, Illinois, 10:37 a.m. to 1:23 p.m. Atlanta, Georgia, 11:43 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Toronto, Ontario, 11:56 a.m. to 2:25 p.m. New York, 12:09 p.m. to 2:36 p.m. Montreal, Quebec, 12:12 p.m. to 2:24 p.m. Boston, Massachusetts, 12:18 p.m. to 10:34 p.m. Then you got some more. During the partial annular eclipses, the sun remains dangerously bright. There is no time during the October 14th solar eclipse when you can look directly at the sun without eye protection. You can view the eclipse through special glasses or handheld solar devices, or you can use indirect method, a pinhole projection. They got the eclipse astrology eclipse info in your pocket, more information. So those are the only places you're going to be able to see the eclipse. And you have to ask yourself, why are those the only places that you're going to be seeing the eclipse? I don't know, but this is Israel's natal chart, and when it became a nation, let's look when they got it in there. The name is we need to envision and pray for peace. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Israel date was the 14th of May of 1948. In Tel Aviv, the time was 4 p.m. Universal time, 1400. SID 746 or something, UL. So this was their chart. If you know how to read these things, great. If you don't feel bad. I don't know how to read them. I don't. I just see a big circle. That's what I see with some... just looks like big, I don't know what you call those, triangles or something. Something like that, you all. Yeah. That's right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. You are just tuning in. This is Israel's natal chart. It does not look good for Israel on Sunday. Sunday looks really bad. Really, really bad for Israel. So Sunday is the 15th of October. That's Sunday. Right on the back of the eclipse is that happening. The 15th. This is what Olivia Soul, she made this chart. It's like, wow. We'll read it again. It looks bad because there's a square between Mars and Israel's natal stellium in Leo. Mars will approach an exact square by degree with the moon and makes a square by the sign with Pluto, Saturn, and Mars in the 10th house. So this is the 10th house right up there. Wow, it's got a lot of, let me put myself here and show you the 10th house. Right here. This is the 10th house. It's got, wow, it's got a lot of points in it. It does, whatever that means. It's got a lot of points in it. In the 10th house, Israel's descendant is conjunct with transiting North Node and Chiron. So the eclipse is in the opposition to that too. And what this means is the likelihood of violent events on Sunday is high. It's very high. Violent events on Sunday, look at me, is high. I sincerely hope it won't be the case. Let's look up Chiron. I want to show you what Chiron looks like. Chiron, Chiron. He is a Greek mythology deity. Chiron was held to be the superlative centaur amongst his brethren, since he was called the wisest and justest of all centaurs. That's a car. I want to see Chiron right there, something like that. You got a centaur, he's got his arrow. Why do we got these cars on here? I get they named these cars the Chiron, but you can see in mythology right here. Look at right here. We got these centaurs right there and right there. Okay, so we got it, UI. I'm gonna go because I read. Thank you, Marguerite, for your write out of this, because I didn't know about it. I'm sure a lot of us don't know about it, but it's really interesting. She suggests you do not go out into the thing because of the energy that is associated with it, because it's not going to be the ancients. The ancients, it's warnings, it's some would say it's superstitions. They had incredible knowledge of the sky and space, noting upheavals on Earth. Yeah. The native peoples adhere to the old ways, believing that viewing an eclipse will result in ill health and spiritual problems. And some tribes warn against eating, sleeping, or being out in the sun during a solar eclipse because the sun and the moon are engaging in intercourse. That is what the Native Americans, Native peoples adhere to. So don't be outside sleeping in the sun, eating in the sun, being in the sun, and that's going to last around 3 hours. Unless you want some spiritual problems more than what we already have, and ill health. That's according to legend. Okay, that is. You also going to scoot this to the side. I'm going to set myself right here. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say thank you and hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your night. And it's interesting. I didn't know they made charts for countries. I really had no idea they made a natal chart for countries, which is really interesting. It is. So just be prepared. Sunday will be our Saturday. Saturday, which is the eclipse over here. And you've seen the dates and times when the eclipse will be seen in certain cities in the U.S. and not others. So, yeah. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Love you.